EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us in the Hoosier State at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we're on the road to the Super Bowl. Time to determine who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. The Conference Championship is underway. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Taylor gets it to begin the drive. Oh, the football's loose. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play. Well, this one's certainly off to an exciting start, partner. Hopefully this is the type of energy we're going to see, though. So just like all touchdowns, all turnovers also reviewed, and they want to take another look at this one. So the nice defensive play, all for naught. He was down first, no fumble. Here's the first carry for Jonathan Taylor. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
First down throw here from Richardson. They get him on his first throw in this conference championship. And the Steelers take possession of the football. So the first drive of the game ends not in points, Brock, but in an INT.
And I get it. Opening drives aren't always going to end up with points or a touchdown. Good thing, though, there's a lot of opportunities left to make up for that miscue and go get yourself back in rhythm and back on script.
And his game will begin with an incomplete pass. George Pickens, the intended target. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour. And there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
2nd down and 10. Fields. That throw finds Pickens. And he's brought down after a short gain.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today. Because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Fields out of the gun. Barkley's got it. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. big gain, 14 on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down. New set of downs for him from the 46. Another throw for Fields. He completes it in traffic. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
And he'll be brought down after getting to the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. He pays the price for the interception. Big hit brings it into that return. Not the auspicious debut they'd certainly hoped for on that opening drive. The coverage, impressive, taking their first possession away with that interception.
Hey, it is tough to play a clean game in this league. Caliber defenders are awesome. You just hope that eventual missteps happen at a less meaningful moment than your opening series. You don't want to make it any harder to get your rhythm and get your passing game going.
No luck finding his receiver that time. So it's 2nd down coming up. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. That's brought in. It's his back, Jonathan Taylor. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They gain 14 on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Colts. New set of downs for him from the 46. Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Minkah Fitzpatrick in on the stop. 1st down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. From the 41. Taylor makes the catch. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And it's good for an Indianapolis 1st down.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that it was all him. Turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
On 1st down, it's Richardson. This one finds Taylor. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Minkah Fitzpatrick in on the stop.
That's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
From the 20 on 2nd down. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And that makes it 4th down. Moody knocks it through. And that one's going to get them on the scoreboard.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Shotgun snap to Fields. He's got it over the middle. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's a Steelers first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Fields on first down. He throws a bullet down the right sideline. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. Looks like he came down on that sideline. Second down coming up.
That's simply a difficult tightrope walk to stay in bounds on a catch that far downfield. What an effort. Just too difficult a play to make.
Throwing again on second down. Fields finds him on the slant. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
Out to his wideout, it's a screen. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. Third and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Second and 4. Into the hands of Colt. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Quitting pay. There to take him down.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Barkley gets it on third down. And they take him down after just a small gain on the final play of the first. So we're through one here in the AFC title game. Just 3-0 is our score. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Lucas Oil Stadium after this. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Play action, Fields. Colt with a catch. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Chased out to his right. Oh, look at this, here he goes. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Toss play to Barkley. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Fields on third. And got his man. That's a somebody they like to have working. So we've got a stoppage now. Figured this might be coming. We're going to take another look to see if this was indeed a touchdown. Those points safe on the scoreboard. The touchdown upheld upon review. Point after up and good from Bates. And the Steelers take a 4-point lead. The kicking team out there for the Steelers, and here they go to send it away. And he just sends it over the end zone. No threat of a return at all, but now they're going to spot the ball at the 30 to begin the drive. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap now to Richardson. And this throw's knocked away, incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Kate, that's a really nice play in coverage. That linebacker looking like a quarterback on that play. Perhaps those cover guys could take some notes on how to stay in position and, most importantly, swat that pass away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Escapes the pocket. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Richardson on 3rd. He's on the move. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And the Steelers will take over possession. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Fields to throw it. Is complete to Cole. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the 1st down. Straight ahead, here's Barkley. And he's able to reach that midfield stripe after some solid running. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Off play action, it's Fields. Completed to his running back. And he stopped cold at the spot. Ooh, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that 1st down.
A play like this, that's exactly where you want to get him the ball. Right on the outside, where he's got the space and a lot more room to work.
On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And the power play up the gun only results in 2 yards.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
2nd and 8. Throw left side, complete. He's all the way home. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers now lead by 10. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Richardson now. On target to his man Taylor. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Finds Woods. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Colts. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. Gets this to Woods. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd down carry for Taylor. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. So we're at the 2-minute warning here from Indy. The Colts pushing for a late spark before halftime. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. Now Richardson to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. The Steelers calling their 1st timeout. So it'll be Tommy Townsend once again to punt this away. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. And the fair catch secured here at the 16. So no return on that punt. And it'll be their football. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. Avoids a defender. We've got a foot race. Has a hole left. Room to run. There it is. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers boat racing them to the halftime locker room. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. Wow, just sensational speed from the back that time, Brock. He found a seam, got through it, and he was gone.
You know, it's one thing, Kate, to have singles hitters, right? And you love those, and you appreciate guys that can get on base. But it's the home run hitters that are the difference makers, and what a big-time effort.
The kicking team out there for the Steelers, and here they go to send it away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Richardson. It's caught. That's Calvin Austin. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. On 1st down, it's Richardson. And he'll be touched down after a big play. Now we get a timeout from the Colts. That's their 1st. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Richardson escapes out to the left. He's on the move. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26.
Oh, man, those defensive players hate slippery quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corral them behind the line there. He evades them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage.
from the 26 on second down. Oh, this is getting ugly early. Intercepted again. Patrick Queen in to pick it off.
Well, that's now his second time that he's put his defense in a tough spot. That's a hard thing about playing quarterback, Kate. You know, with these interceptions and now the second on the day, you're asking your defense again to step up to another series, another possession, another challenge. This quarterback's got to start protecting the football.
Throwing from near his own goal line. That's into the hands of Barkley. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains. There wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Fields. Forced out to his right. And he's able to move it past the 45 before going out. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down. Fields out of the gun. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And got his man. That's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers get more points to end a lopsided first half. Bates now for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers grow their lead yet again. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. Big lick from the coverage team there. That's going to stop the return before it can get to the 30. Here comes the final play of our first half. Looks like they'll play it safe with a run to the outside. And he stopped on a nice gain on what is the final play of this first half. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. The Lamar Hunt Trophy waiting in the wings for whoever can finish this game out as we're back underway. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running right, it's Barkley. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Quiddy Pay there to take him down. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Shotgun snap to Fields. He gets a lot behind one, deep downfield. This has been a trend, yet another interception. Nick Cross has it. And the Colts get it back as he intercepts him for the second time this game.
Oh, coaches just love that effort right there. Instantly, as he made the pick, everybody was looking for a block and doing their part to set up the return. And I know it pales in comparison to giving up the turnover, but how about the effort on the other side to track him down and stop a potential pick six? I think everybody deserves a little credit on the field for that effort.
It locates Adonai Mitchell. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down.
It's a gain of 23 yards. That's good for the Colts. First down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
From the red zone now. This throw is cuffed. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Taylor does not get in. His push is stopped just short of that goal line.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And he has the Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts start the second half with some needed points. Jake Moody on for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Colts make it an 18-point game. The Colts ready to kick this one away, and away we go once more. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And what a hit there. Ouch, she pays the price for moving the chains that time.
Hey, look, Kate, you can't just ask one tackler to go mano-a-mano and stop this guy. You got to have the cavalry coming. One guy makes a hit, the others are there to clean up and pile on, because one-on-one, he's going to run right through you.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. A pistol snap, Fields. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Completed here to Pickens. And he gets it through the midfield stripe and onto the Colts side of the field. Third and 6 for them to figure out now. Play action, Fields. Taking a deep shot here. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Looking for George Pickens that time. And they're up against it. 4th down coming up.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field. Hey, listen, I know kickers are arguably better today than they've ever been in the history of football. But anything from 60-plus is still awfully ambitious. And that time, it didn't pan out.
Richardson now on 1st and 10. Austin's there to haul it in. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And it's good for an Indianapolis first down. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. He sends this one to the end zone. Big gain downfield. And that's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, Indy. The Colts shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. It's an Adnan Mitchell touchdown. That one right down the middle. And the Colts make it an 11-point ball game. Colts ready to kick this one away, and away we go once more. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Blitz coming here. Fields. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, he falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
First down throw for Fields. Able to get it to Barkley. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs.
Speaks to this guy's talent as just an all-around difference maker, playmaker. You see him line up as a receiver, and we don't even bat an eye, Kate. And we don't really bat an eye when he makes that kind of play either. This guy's just different, built for the moment.
This ball's caught by Pickens. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
They'll go from the gun with Barkley. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. He made it to single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Fields now on 3rd. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. Well, as they drive forward to what right now looks like it should be a win, Brock, he sure is taking advantage of a nice little chance to boost his stat line. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you just kind of feel these two building some trust, right? Just more and more equity, certainly paying dividends in this one, but more than likely for more games to come.
The kicking team out there for the Steelers, and here they go to send it away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. He puts some power on a deep one left. Oh no, they get him yet again. Jacorian Bennett has it. And the Steelers get the football back across midfield before going down inside the 45-yard line on the return.
You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life. Really on both sides of the ball. Right, you watch defensive coaches preach all the time, and they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block. And then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick six. Yeah, it stinks for the offense, but that was the practice field coming to life for everybody to see.
Fits it through the middle. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's a Steelers first down. Here he goes on the bootleg. Catch is made in close. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. They get 19, and now they're going to have first and goal.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Only one frame remains before we see who's going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. It's Steeler football. If they can hold this lead, they'll continue this postseason run. Back-to-back big plays have them all set up. First and goal here. They're going to run with Barkley. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. Nothing doing that time, and it leaves them on second and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on first down. More to come.
And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Every once in a while, sure, a pass, they can go for a negative yard. But lose that much, I promise you, that call will never come up on the call sheet again.
They've held him out twice. Here we go. Third and goal. Off play action. It's Fields. And like an empty wrapper, he just throws that one away.
Now, that's an example right there where you just simply got to be on the same page with each other and get both ends of the play right to execute. They want that one back.
Bates' kick is up and good. And that stretches the lead to 21.
Get another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. They're out and set, first and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. This finds Mitchell complete. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
First down throw here from Richardson. Pickman's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
I don't care how good a secondary you are, how loaded you are with talent, when you've got time to allow a receiver to work from one side of the field all the way to the other versus zone coverage.
And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that edge. They're going to say he's out of bounds. We've got second down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in, but out of bounds.
They'll throw again, Richardson. And he has the Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts get it back to within 2 possessions. It's an Adonai Mitchell touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. PAT up and good for Moody. And the Colts get it back to a 14-point game. The The Colts ready to kick this one away, and away we go once more. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. 35 on the pickup. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Fields on 1st down. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Second down and 10. Fields. Taking a big shot for the end zone. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately no connection to be made.
A little touch pass here, trying to move the chains. He's got room to roam here. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers making a 3-score game in the 4th. Well, this machine has been firing on all cylinders this game, partner. And it continues firing as that lead grows yet again.
And those who've tried to get in the way of that machine you're talking about, namely the defense, well, they paid the price over and over and over again.
The kicking team out there for the Steelers, and here they go to send it away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap now to Richardson. He puts everything behind this one. That's complete inside the 35. It's a full 40 yards on the play, Brock, and a new set of downs.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
He has the Indianapolis touchdown. 3 touchdown catches in one game is rare air, Brock. Safe to say most guys who retire can name every time they did that here in the NFL.
Yeah, I hope he remembers it, but also remember this. Receivers, they're a dependent position. They're dependent on the guys doing their job up front. They're dependent on the quarterback putting on the spot. And usually, when you reach a milestone like this, you'd love to share it with everybody else. And my guess, especially if they could find a way to win this one, is this receiver will celebrate it with all of his guys.
And that one flies right on past the end zone. Didn't make an effort to hit the landing area at all. So they're going to give them a drive starting at the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. A give to Barkley. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss, and This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
Barkley trying this up the gut. And in a rarity today, he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Looks like no gain on second down, and that leads us to 3rd and 6. Takes the handoff, now to throw. He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed. And the Colts have some new life in the 4th.
I know he started the play as a defender, but gosh, he looked good, didn't he? Running it back, he looked like a receiver navigating on that return. The way he saw the field, he evaded obstacles, and he chewed up yardage in the open space. It would make those offensive coaches and teammates proud. We've seen defensive players get touches on occasion, and I think he just gave himself maybe a look on that side of the ball down the road.
On first down, it's Richardson. Escapes the pocket. And he drives this forward to the 6. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
And oh, he got it! Interception! Jacorian Bennett has it! Touchdown on the pick 6. But we all saw his teammates yelling at him, go down for the touchback. Yeah, no chance of that. He saw a lane to take it from one end zone to the other, and he did just that.
You know, and in that sense, he's no different than a kick returner bringing it out of the end zone. That's why some think DBs make the best return men. They just got that unique way of seeing the field, whether it's on a kickoff or going 100+ for a pick 6. Wow.
And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the pick, Richardson back to the air. Hits him on the out route. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
He finds Woods, and he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Finds Woods. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up when they can't.
Throwing deep for the end zone. Intercepted, but oh, wait. Officials say that he wasn't in bounds. The offense can let out a little sigh of relief. Pass didn't work on second. Let's see how that affects this 3rd down. Richardson now. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. And this one is dropped and incomplete. He had the pick in his hands, couldn't hang on. It's going to be 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
Trying to throw for it with Richardson. He connects downfield on 4. It's an 11-yard gain to back up the considerable gamble there on 4th down, and they move those chains. All right, set now, 1st and 10. Trying to push it deep downfield. And the defender coming away with it. Buda Baker picks it off.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion. Okay, time for the defense to think about getting that ball back. And this is where you've got to conserve every second. Got to expect the timeout coming any moment now.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. They take a knee, and that's going to force that defense to burn a timeout if they want to save any clock here.
They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And they'll raise that Lamar Hunt trophy high as champions of the AFC.